Baldoni's legal team claimed a rep for Swift addressed these inappropriate and apparently extortionate threats in at least one written communication transmitted to Mr. Gottlieb. Okay. Now, if you need me to translate that legalese, what it says is Taylor Swift's team is throwing Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds not under a bus, but under an entire armada of tanks running through the desert. They are burying them. So in the biggest development since this Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni, Ryan Reynolds, Taylor Swift thing started, we have the biggest thing that has happened by a mile, and it is absolutely priceless, okay? Taylor Swift has completely turned on Blake Lively, okay? Like, not just turned on her in a way where she's like, I don't want to support her. I don't want to do yada yada. She is cooperating with the Baldoni team, okay? She is claiming that Blake Lively blackmailed her, okay? And I want to say this. I think there's a possibility that Taylor Swift's PR team is pulling one of the most draconian and Machiavellian moves of all time that maybe might not even be true. So we're going to get into this thing because this is probably the funniest thing that's happened in Hollywood like ever. Imagine if the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp case had somehow involved the largest, most clean-cut, squeaky clean pop star of all time, and she was culpable on one side or the other. Like if she had helped frame Johnny Depp for whatever, like spousal abuse or whatever. Like imagine if you found out that someone like that was involved, because that is exactly the situation that we're in, and Taylor Swift's team is panicking. They got subpoenaed. They were getting brought into this thing. They don't want to be involved in this story. You got to ask yourself, why do you think Taylor is actually cooperating here? Forget about like the hypotheticals over there. Like, why do you think that she's doing that? Do you think that it's maybe because as she gets subpoenaed, that gives them access to her text messages? And in those text messages, it shows that Taylor Swift was party to harassment, or even maybe she knew that Justin Baldoni had not actually sexually harassed Blake Lively. Like imagine if Taylor Swift had actually known that Blake Lively was doing this to be vindictive, and Taylor Swift is such a mean girl in real life that she would have thought that was okay and funny, Imagine. I know everybody's just assuming that the only people in the know about Blake Lively filing a fake sexual harassment charge would be her, Ryan Reynolds, and the PR firm, Stephanie Jones PR. But maybe Taylor Swift knew it was fake too, because they live in a world where they destroy enemies any means necessary. So just imagine, think about that, because as we're going to see in a second, Taylor Swift has thrown her friend to the wolves forever. Now, let's jump into it right this second. Now, if you have not subscribed to the channel, that is a handshake deal that we're going to make. It's not exactly the same as the devil's bargain that all of these Hollywood people make, where they sell their soul for all of the success in this material life down here, Like, it's not like that. It's just me and you, kind of man to man or man to woman. I'm saying like, hey guys, if you're going to watch my content, I just ask that you click subscribe one time. It's the button right there. It'll take 1 second, okay? It's on the honor system, I'm not the devil, man. I don't make people sign things in blood. We're just handshaking it, okay? So let's jump right into this story, which is priceless. Oh, by the way, like the video if you like where this is going. So Blake Lively demanded Taylor Swift delete their text as Justin Baldoni legal fallout escalates, according to attorneys. I wonder how they know that. This is coming from Justin Baldoni's team. All right, so talk about a blank space. Blake Lively allegedly asked Taylor Swift to, quote, delete their text messages amid her legal war with Justin Baldoni, according to a bombshell new filing. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. So you're saying that is in court documents? Yeah, it's in court documents. So this is not just rumors that were picked up by Page Six. Oh, no. This is on the official record being filed by Justin Baldoni's team. Well, how do they know that? Lawyers representing the actor and his company, Wayfarer Studios, claimed to have learned of the supposed request from an anonymous source who is highly likely to have reliable information. Well, gosh, if I were Sherlock Holmes and my life depended on solving this riddle, I would say, which source do you think would have highly reliable information about a text message that was sent to Taylor Swift, or a phone call that Blake Lively made to Taylor Swift? I mean, I'm racking my brain, and it's like, it was probably Russian hackers that, used satellites, and they got into the text message, they hacked in, pulled it and immediately called Baldoni's team, and they're like, look at this transcript I've got, you know? Or I guess the other option, probably much less likely, would be Taylor Swift and her team got subpoenaed into this case where her career could literally go down a drain with Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. And they were like, oh my God, what are we going to do? And Justin Baldoni seems like, listen, we don't want Taylor, you know? We got no beef with Taylor. We want we want Blake and we want Ryan. And they're like, we will give you anything that you want. Just don't name us, okay? Don't name us in your court filings, at least until you have to. They're like, we can make that work. Imagine being Justin Baldoni and having Taylor Swift's career balls in your hand, given this situation, okay? Imagine what that feels like for that creep, okay? And, you know, we've established before on this channel, I'm not one of these people that's like, you know, oh my God, Justin Baldoni is such a soft-handed little angel, okay? That's what Candace does. Candace pretends that she respects Justin Baldoni because it bolsters her case of what a bad person Taylor Swift and Blake Lively are, which I respect that approach. Matter of fact, I think it's absolutely hilarious every time she does it, because when I know that Candace is doing something specific to bury someone, which is the only reason that she's pretending like she likes Justin Baldoni, I think it's hilarious because I know what she's doing, you know? She is all's fair in brutalizing people on the internet person, you know? Because Justin Baldoni is a male feminist creep, and we've talked about that 1,000 times, but there is a 0% chance that I get through a single video where I talk about Justin Baldoni and do not reference the fact that male feminists are the biggest creeps, disingenuous weirdos, who, after telling you that they've done the work to understand toxic masculinity, would turn around and be the person who victimizes women in a number of ways while hiding behind the facade of a person who actually cares about women. Anyway, neither here nor there. Okay, so let's continue because this gets way better. The court documents obtained by Page Six on Wednesday did not specify when Lively allegedly made the demand. Here we go. You guys ready for this, though? Baldoni's attorney also claimed that Lively's lead counsel, Michael Gottlieb, had asked the pop star's law firm, Venable, to release a statement of support. Support that she believes Blake Lively was whatever. This is how, okay, let me finish this real quick. According to the filing, the request intimated that if Miss Swift refused to do so, private text messages of a personal nature in Miss Lively's possession would be released. Uh-oh. Because that sounds an awful lot like blackmail. It's starting to look a lot like blackmail. All Taylor Swift said. You guys, listen, I mean, we're best friends. You're the godmother to my children. And what I need from you is I need you to support that you believe me that I was sexually harassed by Baldoni, even in the face of the absolutely insurmountable amount of evidence that I completely fabricated this. You know, like, I need you to support. Think of how like delusional these people are, okay? Like, these are the same people who honestly believe that they could get Kamala Harris elected by paying Beyonce $10 million and Katy Perry $1 million and like Megan Thee Stallion. It's like, all we need is we need Taylor Swift support, we need Beyonce support, and of course we're going to overcome this huge populist movement because, listen, these ladies, they support Kamala. You know, let's get J-Lo, let's blackmail Usher, let's blackmail Snoop Dogg with the Diddy tapes, and let's get all these guys to say Trump is racist and we love Kamala. And it's going to work out, you know? It's going to work out. We're going to come back to that in a second, actually. And it didn't, right? You want to know what actually happened? Was your influence, this idea of the influence you think these people have, was so misplaced that what ended up happening is Taylor Swift got booed at the Super Bowl. Okay, Katy Perry cannot sell tickets to her tour. Me and Gabrielle looked it up. She has a show here in Austin in like a week. It might even be less than a week. And there were so many available tickets. We looked in the third row. Okay, in like tickets that were kind of like sidewind to the stage. So the stage is here. There's all these seats here. They're like kind of over here. So they're like a little bit behind the stage and to the side. Third row were like $100 or something like that. Okay. Do you like $100? You couldn't get into a Taylor Swift stadium for less than $2,000. Okay. And she's trying to sell third row seats for $100. Okay. Not exactly the positive impact you would have hoped for by getting involved in politics. And Beyonce has the same problem. Like, Beyonce can't sell tickets to hers either. Okay. So next time there is a massive populist movement, I feel like if they offer you millions of dollars, you should probably think like, do I want to get in politics? Like, is this a smart thing? Because as soon as I get into politics, the people who feel passionately about politics are not going to be my fans anymore. And the ones who are already on my side and are fans are not going to leave me if I don't do this. So what is the upside? That's not a complicated, like that's not, where are the percentages here? You know? Like, come on, dude. So also, and there's a lot more coming, by the way, but also, okay, this right here, okay, since we did the Diddy, we did the Diddy case yesterday, and the prosecution, James Comey's daughter, by the way, doing the prosecution, she's like, P. Diddy blackmailed Cassie. And you want to know how we know? Because of this text message right here, where he says, I am very upset that you're dating another man. What if I embarrassed you by putting out a video of one of the freak-offs? And you're all, okay, where's the next text message? What do you mean, where's the next text message? There it is. There is all the evidence you need. You're all, run me through that again. He threatened her. He threatened to release the videos. That's blackmail. You're all, okay. But like, what's the next part? Okay. That's 50% of blackmail. Okay. The first part is, I will do blah, 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 unless you do blah, blah, blah. Right? Okay, like you need to demand some kind of behavior or else they'll do that. Right? What you're describing is, I'm a jealous boyfriend who is very upset that you have left me and is now dating someone else. What if I release this? And she even said in the testimony, she's like, he just wanted to hurt me. You're all, that is not blackmail, you guys. I'm sorry. That is him threatening revenge corn. Okay? You want to know what blackmail looks like? This. Okay? She asked the pop star's law firm to release a statement of support. The request also intimated that if Miss Swift refused to do so, private text messages of a personal nature in Miss Lively's possession would be released. That's blackmail. Also, I guess we know now why Travis Kelce unfollowed Ryan Reynolds and all them, right? It's like, oh, we're blackmailing people now? I thought we were friends. It's like, no, no. And that's one thing that I think is amazing too. Now, if you guys do not follow my other channel, which I do with Gabrielle, my beautiful wife, Play with Matches, like where they're like, we want to make you the
Our
God,
yeah.
because then she'll say yes to everything, right? It's like,
and she's committed to them forever.
Exactly. Well, she was.
Yeah.
Pretty sure she is not going to take your children anymore.
Taylor's not going to be coming around no
more.
more.
We were talking about how, you go into a friendship assuming that like, oh, these are like my real friends who don't need anything from me. And it turns out with Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively, the second that they wanted something from Taylor that she wasn't going to give, they blackmailed her. Okay. It's hilarious. Now follow me and Gabrielle's show. The link is in the description. You guys are going to love it. And let's continue on with this story. Okay. So Baldoni's legal team claimed a rep for Swift addressed these inappropriate and apparently extortionate threats in at least one written communication transmitted to Mr. Gottlieb. Okay. Now, if you need me to translate that legalese, what it says is Taylor Swift's team is throwing Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds not under a bus, but under an entire armada of tanks running through the desert. They are burying them. Okay. Like there is no coming back from this. Taylor Swift, her dragon has turned her fire straight on Blake Lively. You tried to use me, sweetheart. You got me brought into this. Okay. Well, guess what? My PR team is making me do this. And so I think our friendship is over because I am going to cooperate with Justin Baldoni to make sure none of this blows back on me because this was not my fight. I don't blame her, dude. I'm going to be honest. Okay. If one of my friends did something as underhanded and disgusting as Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds did here, and then I got dragged into it just because I had some conversations with her, I'd be like, and it turned out that they were using me without telling me. They're like, so that's what I was to you, a dragon that you can wield against other people who are your opponents in Hollywood. Here, I have an idea. Now that I'm facing a massive lawsuit in the end of my career, how about I fucking bury you in the desert and exactly where you belong? And continuing on, it is those communications that the Wayfarer parties seek to obtain by way of subpoena, they continued. The communications would evidence an attempt to intimidate and coerce a percipient witness in the litigation, the director's lawyers alleged. Gosh, I wonder how they found out that those messages exist, Probably only one person that would know about text messages between Blake Lively and Taylor. Something's telling me that Blake Lively did not release the fact that she had potentially blackmailed her best friend if she wouldn't go ahead and support her fake sexual harassment charge. Is that like amazing, dude? Gottlieb, however, called the claims categorically false and completely untethered from reality in a statement to Page Six, unequivocally denying them. Hey, you know what's really impactful I've found? Is if they would have just said they denied them and said it's not true. When they throw in a word like unequivocally, that's when I know they're probably telling the truth, you know? That doesn't sound like a desperate plea to make me believe that it's like, why do you use that word? Unequivocally false. You're all, I mean, it's either false or it's not. No. But it's unequivocally false. You're all, got it. Gotcha. I understand. Have you guys seen the movie A Few Good Men? Remember when the girl is like, or it's Demi Moore actually. She's like, the defense objects. And he's like, overruled. Your Honor, the defense strenuously objects. And then the other counsel afterwards is like, oh no, Your Honor, it strenuously objects. It's that stupid, guys. Page Six has reached out to Swift's rep for comment. Here we go. Swift had been close friends with Lively since 2015 and first got dragged into the actress legal battle earlier this year. The headline-making lawsuit spree kicked off in December 2024 when the actress accused her It Ends With Us co-star of sexual harassment, infliction of emotional duress, and more, which then subsequently got proved to have been lies. Lies. I have an idea, guys. Hey, ladies and guys, if you are a person who would ever consider filing a fake lawsuit against someone that definitely you knew for sure they were not guilty of, this is a good checklist to go through first, okay? 1. Is there video or written evidence that would prove that I'm lying? Okay. If the answer is yes, don't do it. Actually, let me rewind. First checklist is, have I sold my soul to Satan? Okay. If the answer is yes, cool. Move on to the second question. Second question. Do I have any ethics whatsoever lingering after selling my soul? It's like, no. You're all right. Then let's go to number 3. And number 3 is, if we're going to get caught for 100% sure, then don't do it. I mean, it's not a tough checklist. Like Lively said yes to number 1, definitely sold our souls. No lingering ethics, but did not think about number 3, that everything was on video and that Baldoni probably had a record of a lot of text messages that would prove that you were lying. So I don't know. She thought that she could just say a thing and it would blow up in her face, or like destroy his life. So anyway, Baldoni has countersued for defamation and extortion the following month, name-dropping Swift in his filing. God, I hate when they do that. The Jane the Virgin alum, and by the way, guys, that means Justin Baldoni, not that anyone would know that, claimed a Simple Favor star had referred to the Cruel Summer singer and her husband Ryan Reynolds as dragons who protect her in creative battles amid discussions over the script rewrites. I'm sure Swift is so happy that she did that, The message could not have been clearer, his lawyers claimed. Baldoni was not just dealing with Lively, he was also facing Lively's dragons, 2 of the most influential and wealthy celebrities in the world, who are not afraid to make things very difficult for him. Hey, just for the record, Taylor Swift's a lot more wealthy than Ryan Reynolds, and that's before Ryan Reynolds loses all of his money to Justin Baldoni. When news broke last week that Swift had been subpoenaed as a witness, her publicist insisted to Page Six that the songwriter was not involved. Oh, but she was. That's the thing. She might not have known it. She knew, actually. She definitely knew, because like I said, maybe there's something else going on here. And if you stuck around to the end with me, you're going to find out exactly what I'm talking about. So we're going to finish this right here, and then I'm going to blow your mind with what I think might be going on. Okay, Swift has yet to address the ongoing scandal publicly, but we hear she and Lively are, quote, ready to move forward with their friendship despite the hitmakers initially feeling used. So let me tell you about that. Okay, number one, I think someone on Taylor's team is watching my content, dude. Okay, listen, I know people would assume some dumb little YouTuber like me, not that little, but not that big either, saying that, oh, sure, Taylor saw your videos, This is what I've learned. If you talk about a person on a channel and you get 50,000 views, okay, high probability that the person you're talking about sees it or their team will see it, okay? So I'm not saying for sure that they saw it, But the reason why I bring that up is because I have mercilessly made fun of Blake Lively and Taylor Swift about how thin the veil of their real friendship was, where it's like, has our friendship become a little bit inconvenient? Let's throw her to the wolves. Cut her off and throw her to the wolves. Because otherwise, right? I'm not really saying that they actually saw my video, but I'm saying that is what they're trying to address here because they're not friends anymore. Are you kidding me? Oh, they're going to move forward with their friendship? As Taylor Swift literally cooperates with Justin Baldoni in a lawsuit that is going to devastate and destroy Blake Lively's career, which is what she deserves. You started it, bitch. Hey, bitch, who started this? I'm just saying, But here's what I'm going to say, okay? So remember up there when she said that in that communication that intimated that they would drop damaging information about Taylor Swift in the event that she did not write a supportive statement to Blake Lively? Well, here's what I would pose to you guys. Maybe that's not true. Because here's the thing. Taylor Swift's number one goal right now is to distance herself from this thing and completely separate. Okay. Like, I have nothing to do with this. This is not my friend. There's nothing going on here. Whatever. Okay. Now, whether or not Blake Lively actually did that or not, now the public's perception of this is that Blake Lively tried to blackmail Taylor Swift. And now when you think of Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, do you think of Taylor Swift? No. Taylor Swift she is also a victim in this case. Okay. She had nothing to do with this. She is a victim just like Justin Baldoni. It is brilliant. I'm going to be honest with you guys. If that's what's going on, if Taylor Swift if her team actually fabricated the fact that she was being blackmailed by Blake Lively, that is one of the most gangster and brilliant PR moves ever. Ever. Okay? Because they could see the writing on the wall. Blake's going down, dude. Ryan Reynolds is going down. There is no reason for Taylor Swift to go down with the ship, given the fact that she had nothing to do with this, really. Even if she was shit talking in text or whatever, which could come back to blow up on her. She doesn't know Justin Baldoni. She had no dealings with him. This is Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively's issue. And so if I'm the PR team and my job is to protect this billion-dollar unicorn that we have, who in all actuality didn't do anything wrong, okay? I'm going to do whatever I have to take Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively and bury them so deep that they can't hurt us anymore. Because bottom line is, there's no reason Taylor should be involved in this, okay? Like, I'm making fun of them here, but Taylor Swift didn't do anything wrong. Like talking shit with your friend about someone that your entire basis of information is based off of things that your friend is telling you about them. Like, yeah, okay, maybe oh my God, he's such a dick. Okay, well, she doesn't know him. She has no dealings with him. Okay, this is all Blake Lively telling her things, or Ryan Reynolds telling her things. The only time she had been in the same room as Justin Baldoni is when Blake Lively set it up for her to be there so they could intimidate him. Does that sound like Taylor Swift was like agreeing to that? And even if she did, she still doesn't know these people. She's just doing a favor for her friend. And so when you look at it like that, do you think it's out of the realm of possibility that these Machiavellian motherfuckers were like, we're going to make it seem like Blake Lively blackmailed us? Because we're cutting rope. We are cutting rope all the way. And by the way, Taylor Swift's PR team, if in fact you did see my video and the fact that I was making fun of you guys for, if it's politically or, a career inconvenient to whatever, you don't actually have to worry about that. Okay. Like, cut her loose. Okay. Cut her loose. You know what you guys are doing. You guys are burying her. You are ending, which she deserves. You don't need to pretend like you guys are still going to be friends. Travis Kelce's unfollowing Ryan Reynolds, but Tyler and Blake are moving forward with their friendship. Get the fuck out of here, dude. Okay, no one's believing that. And so, again, and the outside chance that you guys are seeing my videos, you don't need to worry about that, okay? I'm telling you, finger on the pulse, dude. I promise. You do not need to worry about anybody judging Taylor Swift for cutting Blake Lively. The same way that you guys are cutting her legally, do it publicly also. Just cut her loose. You did not know what kind of person she was. You did not realize that they were the kinds of people that would do this. Now that you know, see ya. Or at the very least, just don't even address it. You don't need to pretend like you guys are going to be friends, dude. Okay? They're not going to be friends. You know that. I know that. Everyone knows that. They're dead to them. So, anyway, suck it, Blake and Ryan. Shouldn't have done this, dude. Now, actually, in reality, hey, Blake and Ryan shouldn't have listened to Stephanie Jones, So, oh God, this whole thing is glorious.